Right now, the latest on preparations for the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, including possible changes to where protesters might be protesting, and why Madison schools could get additional state funding even before this referendum this fall.
I did go with an alert day this morning for later this afternoon and evening. The potential for severe weather increasing across southern Wisconsin. We'll have the latest.
And good Thursday morning. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Chris Stanford, who's off this week. And as Josh would say, happy little Friday. And we're going to send it right on over to meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's here with your first warn weather.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. I did add an alert day, like I just mentioned, because that threat is increasing, unfortunately, for severe weather chances later in the day. If we are able to see those strong to severe thunderstorms develop west of here and then hold strength, which I do think looks good right now, damaging winds, hail, and lightning, those are going to be the main threats. Pretty much all across southern Wisconsin, better chances are going to be west of the Dells, though. That's going to be later this afternoon and evening. We'll talk specifics on the timeline coming up a little later, but the Storm Prediction Center did increase and push this further east towards the lake. So Fond du Lac, Watertown, Janesville, Monroe, Madison, Wisconsin Dells in a level 1 out of 5. The best chance of a little bit more widespread severe weather, that's going to be west of the Dells, La Crosse, Black River Falls, Camp Douglas, near Prairie du Chien. But like I said, those modes of severe weather, winds, also brief downpours, that'll be in the case. It will take us into firework display timing. So that timeline and also just the threats that we could see across southern Wisconsin, future track, what all of that will look like. I'll have a little bit more coming up a little later. Michelle.
Thanks, Savannah. And for those who want to stay updated, the best way to not get left in the dark this 4th of July is by having the free First Warn Weather app downloaded to your device. You can find it wherever you get your apps. And we lead today with a Dane County Circuit Court ruling saying certain elements of Act 10 are unconstitutional. Act 10 is the law enacted in 2011 by then Governor Scott Walker, curbing collective bargaining for unions in Wisconsin. The judge's ruling said that how lawmakers determined which job titles were and were not eligible for unionization was not rational. Act 10 was one of the major pieces of legislation passed by former Governor Scott Walker. The fallout from the law drew thousands of protesters to the Capitol Square during the early months of 2011, and lawmakers passed Act 10 with the goal of helping the state budget. Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemonhew said in a statement that the judge's decision will cost taxpayers money. He added, quote, "Once again, the only way the Democrats can get their way is through activist judges dropping decisions on a holiday weekend." Meanwhile, Democratic State Senator Melissa Eggert reacted, quote, "This ruling confirms that Act 10 created divisions among working people in Wisconsin and reinforces that principle that workers must be treated equally under the law." Authorities say the search for a missing Dodge County woman is now a death investigation. Last Thursday, Sheriff Dale Schmidt announced his office was looking for 37-year-old Crystal Rosh of the Clyman area. The next day, the sheriff shared Rosh's estranged husband, Zachariah, had been arrested for allegedly using her bank accounts to make unauthorized purchases. No further details of the investigation into Rosh's death are being shared at this time. In Dane County, authorities are investigating after a 4-year-old was found unresponsive, then later died at the hospital. The child was found shortly before 10 a.m. at a home on Box Elder Road. That's near Marshall. Despite life-saving efforts by police and paramedics, the child was pronounced dead at the hospital. An autopsy will be performed to determine how the child died. An update now after a home explosion in Walworth County. The only person inside at the time of the blast has died of his injuries. First responders were called to a home in the town of Lafayette on Culo Road before 2:30 afternoon Tuesday. There, they found a 68-year-old man in the rubble who was taken to the hospital by helicopter and has since died. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation. And a 24-year-old Madison man will spend 4 years in prison after a hit and run on the city's north side left a woman dead. Court records show Anthony Moore pleaded guilty to homicide by vehicle while using a controlled substance. He was arrested in May 2023 after striking 40-year-old Nicole McDougall with his vehicle. It was at the intersection of Aberg and Shopco Drives. Prosecutors say McDougal was crossing the street with the walk sign on, and witnesses say Moore ran a red light and never attempted to brake. He'll get credit for nearly 200 days served already. And heading to campaign 2024 news now, President Biden is reportedly acknowledging in private that his candidacy is on the line. As first reported by the New York Times, an insider who is close to Biden said the two spoke Tuesday about his campaign. The source said that Biden sees clearly that he must quickly make amends for last week's poor debate performance to shore up polling and fundraising. However, the White House is pushing back on that account.
Is the president telling people he's evaluating the
Absolutely
race?
false. That is absolutely false. I saw that reporting. We were not given enough time to get back to that reporting, just a couple of minutes, and we asked the president. The president responded directly when asked about this question because we said that we would, and the president said it is absolutely false.
Biden has reportedly blamed himself for his performance during last Thursday's CNN presidential debate, claiming that back-to-back trips to France and Italy beforehand were a bad idea. At the same time, a number of Democratic lawmakers say Biden's candidacy could suppress voter turnout, which could affect their aim in taking back Congress from Republican control. Now we're getting a look inside Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, where much of the setup is coming together for the Republican National Convention. Now that's less than 2 weeks away. The stage and background displays are in the progress of being built, as is work on the floor, which will host seating for 2,600 GOP delegates. Aside from the delegates, the seating inside is reserved for alternate delegates and other guests. And here's a live look at the Pfizer Forum from the outside. While much of the focus during the convention will be inside the forum, a legal battle is brewing about what could be happening outside nearby. A federal judge will decide where protesters can be placed during the event. Currently, 2 locations nearby are designed for demonstrations, but the coalition to march on the RNC says those spots are too far away from the arena where former President Donald Trump and his supporters will be taking the stage.
The Coalition to March on the RNC remains steadfast in trying to secure our permit for our march, but we do plan on marching without one if we need to. Many of us have exclusively marched without permits here in Milwaukee, without being impeded or hurt. We expect the same treatment while the Republicans are here to visit Milwaukee.
The lawsuit claims Milwaukee's ordinances for protests and parades violate First Amendment rights by putting limits on where people can make their voices heard. Attorneys say they expect a decision no later than early next week. And we may have an election in the U.S. this year, but today the eyes of the world are on the United Kingdom for their general election. Polls are open right now in the country's 650 constituencies. Voters there are expected to oust Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. If they do, that would bring an end to a 14-year reign of conservative rule in the country. Current polls show the opposition Labour Party is expected to win, bringing in a center-left government headed by former lawyer Keir Starmer. The leader, whose party wins 326 constituencies, will become prime minister and then form a government. Back home now, the Madison Metropolitan School District could get a financial boost for the upcoming school year. That's because when the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction released its estimated aid this week, it was more money than expected. Ellie LaLiberte shows us why the district still says it's in need of help.
The estimate is over $1 million more than MMSD was expecting. And although it helps, the district says the extra funding doesn't solve all the problems. The general aid is the largest form of state support to Wisconsin public schools, according to the DPI. This year, 70% of school districts, including MMSD, are seeing an increase in that aid. However, the district says it's not enough.
We're still underfunded.
Which is why MMSD approved 2 referenda questions asking for $100 million in November.
We're seeing districts paying the price of this all over the state.
The Wisconsin Public Education Network says referenda are becoming a statewide trend.
Every time these aid numbers come out, it's an important reminder of just how broken that system is.
And it certainly doesn't help us really get after the long-standing kind of facility improvements that we need to do.
It's because funding doesn't keep up with inflation, according to the Education Network.
On the surface, that might look like an increase. When you consider that neither of those budgets provided an increase sufficient to keep up with inflation, it actually comes across as a cut to kids.
For MMSD, the aid is a part of revenue, but the district says it will still need the referenda. The aid amount from DPI will be finalized on October 15th. For now, reporting in Madison, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Your time is 6:09. Savannah, what's coming up?
Michelle, Renee, unfortunately, we have went ahead with an alert day for today because the threat for severe weather that's increasing across southern Wisconsin. We'll have the latest timing coming up.
And coming up, a former Badger volleyballer is going pro in a brand new competition. That's next in sports.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Brought to you by Toyota.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a tough new 2024 Tacoma for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
We're a family-owned farm. With all the deliveries we make to stores and restaurants, when gas prices go up, we get hit pretty hard. We all know these big oil companies make huge profits off us. And I just think, how many guys like me do they have to screw over to make money? When I heard about President Biden's plan to crack down on big oil companies, I thought, okay, thank God. Because it's about damn time big oil companies started paying their fair share.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Make summer unforgettable with help from Menards. Whether you're soaking up the sun or relaxing indoors, we have what you need to get you ready for summer fun. From creating the perfect place to entertain family and friends to stocking up on your favorite summer essentials, Menards is your one-stop shop for your next summer adventure. Check out all the hot deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Need inspiration? Shop Pick and Save. For over 30,000 mouth-watering choices, plus savings like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. Pick and Save is worth it every time. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This is where all your dreams come true. You are the Moulin Rouge!
Madison's most spectacular night out is Moulin Rouge, the musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it dazzling, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Performances begin July 9th at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Voted 2023 Best Morning Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Welcome back. COVID cases are on the rise yet again, but how can they be accurately tracked when fewer and fewer are going into the doctor's office to take a test? Well, the answer is the toilet. 2 new variants are causing a rise in infections, with scientists turning to wastewater collection and sampling to get a better glimpse of COVID in the community.
So when they flush the toilet, it goes to the wastewater treatment plant. We can take a sample there and it represents, all of the people, all of the toilets that were flushed in that community. So we do think that wastewater has the possibility of being like a weather report for the health in your community.
According to the Wisconsin State Laboratory of Hygiene, 11 of the 45 wastewater monitoring sites around the state are showing significant increases in COVID, and 10 more are showing moderate increases. The CDC has a dashboard to view the wastewater data in your community, and we have a link to that dashboard up right now on channel3000.com. Heading over to meteorologist Savannah Brito. She's here with your first warm weather.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. We did go with an alert day early this morning because that potential for severe weather and just with people being having plans outside for the 4th of July, I did go with that. Gusty winds, hail and lightning, those are going to be the main threats across southern Wisconsin. This morning, we're actually waking up to clear skies, sunshine, dry. By the afternoon, that's all set to change. The Storm Prediction Center did push this a little further east, so Janesville, Monroe, Fond du Lac, Watertown, all included in the level 1 out of 5. Even the light color is still a low-level risk, but something we're going to have to monitor. Again, because everyone's planning stuff outside today, make sure you have several ways to get watches and warnings. Make sure you're looking at the radar and staying with the first warn weather forecast. But La Crosse, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, west of Wisconsin Dells, I think this is where the better chance of severe weather is going to be. I do think as those storms develop and make its way further into southern Wisconsin and push eastward, I think they will hold strength at least a little bit. So start time between 1 and 5 p.m. That's when scattered thunderstorms are going to move in from the west or develop out west and then continue moving east. Peak time, though, between 5 and 9 p.m. So that will include, unfortunately, time for those fireworks or as people are getting closer to launching those fireworks and having those displays. So isolated to scattered in nature, taking us to lunchtime. This is about 12:30. Maybe going to cause some brief downpours. Those are not going to last long. This is 2:30 now. The line that's going to develop out west of here, I do think it'll hold strength, Madison and eastward. This is about 7:30 west of Madison, and then making its way here 9:30. So that is usually when people do light off their fireworks. So something we're going to have to watch for. But I do think most models show that that does hold Madison. Breaks up eastward then, and then we dry up a little bit. Still cloudy though, and I still think we're going to even have that scattered thunderstorm chance overnight into early Friday. This is not going to lead to any severe weather. That's going to diminish after about 9-10 p.m., gradually pushing eastward across southern Wisconsin closer to the lake. We're waking up to humidity levels that are higher right now. Dew points and temperatures are in the upper 60s, lower 70s. That alert day because of the storms for your 4th, 84. That's what we'll climb to today. So it is going to be near normal, slightly above average. Tomorrow we're below average, 73, and then the next several days to follow, including your Independence Day, the rest of Independence Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, near 80.
Temi time is coming back to Madison. Temi Thomas-Ilara, a member of last year's Badgers volleyball team, is signing with League One Volleyball Madison, a brand new professional league. She spent just one season with Wisconsin, but made an impact for the Badgers in 2023. Thomas-Ilara ranked 4th on the team in kills per set and tied a program record for most aces in a 3-set match. She spent her first 4 collegiate seasons at Northwestern University. Game 3 of 4 for the Brewers last night in Denver, facing the Rockies. A 1-run victory for each team through the first 2 games of the series. We picked this one up in the top of the first from Coors Field. Kristen Yelich showing a resurgency this season, sending that ball out into the right field seats in a matter of seconds for a solo shot and the early 1-0 lead. That's all the support Colin Ray would need. He pitches 7 scoreless innings in the Mile High City. Brewers take down Colorado 3-0, the final. And a big honor for 2 Brewers, outfielder Kristen Yelich and catcher William Contreras, being named as starters for the National League All-Star theme. This will be Yelich's 3rd All-Star game appearance and Contreras' 2nd. The Major League Baseball All-Star game is Tuesday, July 16th from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. LeBron James is returning to the Lakers, but was there any really doubt that Daddy will be back after they drafted his son Bronny last week? ESPN reporting earlier today he's signing a 2-year deal worth $104 million. It seals the deal on the much-anticipated NBA father-son duo for the first time in league history. Last season, LeBron became the first pitcher to hit the milestone of scoring 40,000 career points. He also tops the all-time playoff scoring leaderboard. Few things are more American than the tradition that is the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest on Coney Island. Ahead of today's event, competitors stepping on the scale for the weigh-in. This bun fight is serious business, attracting competitors from as far away as the Czech Republic and Japan. Missing from the competition, though, reigning champ Joey Chestnut. He's excluded from this year's digestive nightmare over his sponsorship deal with another brand. The new popular favorite to take home the mustard belt is James Webb from Australia.
Tomorrow, there's going to be a new champion, and it's going to be a great experience, and I'm just happy to be here.
What a gracious guy. What I thought he was going to say is, and that champion's going to be me.
The men's competition starts at 11 a.m. on ESPN2, and in case you're wondering what the first prize is, well, in addition to the highly coveted mustard belt, there's also a $10,000 up for grabs. That's it for morning sports. Don't worry, I won't quit my day job. Have an incredible Independence Day.
Thanks, Armand. Still ahead, a Taylor Swift takeover, as requested from her fans. We'll tell you all about Taylortown. And coming up in our next half hour, what Madison police want you to know about lighting your own fireworks this 4th of July. And as we head to break, a look at the gas prices this morning. We'll be right back.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
Today, a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Don't miss the 45th Annual Art Fair Off the Square, July 13th and 14th, located in downtown Madison between the Capitol and the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Showcasing the talents and creativity of the Wisconsin Alliance of Artists and Craftspeople, featuring beautiful ceramics, art glass, painting and drawings, photography, sculpture, jewelry, and so much more. Buy local and support your Wisconsin artists and craftspeople, July 13th and 14th. The Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
It's Red, White, and Bargains during Hy-Vee's 4-day sale this Monday through Thursday. 6-pack bottles of Pepsi products, just $2.99 each when you buy 4. Whole seedless watermelon, just $3.98 each. Fresh ground chuck, just $3.98 a pound. Ritz crackers or Chips Ahoy cookies, just $1.99. Our special recipe brats or patties, 10 for just $10. And Lay's kettle-cooked rolled gold or munchies, just $1.99 each when you buy 4. Monday through Thursday, only at Hy-Vee.
Hi, my name is David. I've been working hard and not giving up since I was a kid. And I bring that same spirit to Gruber Law Offices. We are fighters, scrappy but respectful, pushing hard for our clients. We know how to win, and we're not afraid to get back up after taking a hit, advocating for the underdog and pursuing justice. We are just warming up, and we're ready to continue serving Wisconsin with all we've got. One call, that's all.
I'm coming to you live from Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Lottery's newest scratch game is taking over. Let me tell you, this is big. Are you getting this? It's Winning Streak, a brand new $10 scratch game. Match any of your numbers to winning numbers or reveal 3 identical numbers in a row. You could win up to $100,000. So cool. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Well, welcome back, everybody. A beautiful picture sent in by Mark. If you want to share your images, you hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share them. I love the lake. I love the lake pictures and sunsets.
Anything with water and reflecting off the sky. We love it, and that's what we see a lot these mornings.
You
so
said they're voluptuous
the
clouds.
Yes, voluptuous
I love
clouds.
that word.
They're just so fluffy, and you see the bright blue sky behind it. It's a perfect day, unlike today.
I know, so thanks, Mark, for sending that in.
Don't forget to send yours in with the hashtag MyNews3Morning. So, Savannah, I have to ask you, are you a Taylor Swift fan?
I used to like her a lot, like her old music. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm a Swiftie, though.
Okay.
And you said you really like her, but you're not really a Swiftie
Not a
either?
Swiftie, but I'm a fan.
Okay.
And I ask you this because basically they're doing a little thing in a city in Germany, and it's getting a new name in the honor of Taylor Swift.
This is pretty cool.
So it is the city of Gelsenkirchen, Germany, and it'll now be known as Swiftkirchen, just in time for the singer's 3-day Eras tour stop later this month. Other Swiftie changes to the city include the Taylor Swift tram and an open-air market called Taylortown. The temporary name change was suggested by a local fan who submitted a petition to the mayor, and the city swiftly came on board.
Very cool. I had an ice cream flavor named after me once. That's the coolest thing that's happened to me.
Oh, well, you know, you're not Taylor Swift, but an ice cream flavor is pretty
Still
cool.
pretty cool,
Not
yeah.
a town, but
No, cool to see that, though, with
close
Taylor
enough.
Swift.
Yeah, it is. So you got to tell us a few things that we need to know today for our events.
Yeah, but the cat story, your favorite thing. You love cats.
Okay, well, I do love cats. Take a look at this big kitty. You can meet Freya. She's only 6 months old. This little lion cub was rescued from the wildlife trade in Lebanon. She's made it to a forever home at a sanctuary in South Africa.
This video is just so good. The eyes,
The
beautiful.
eyes, the big paws.
I know.
And now she's basking in the sun. So I'm glad she's safe and found her sanctuary.
We're waking up to sunshine like that in the video, but we're unfortunately not going to see that last all day. Alert day in your forecast. I put that in this morning for later this afternoon, evening. The increasing threat and potential for severe weather there. And that will unfortunately take us to about firework display times, potentially as late as 9-10. We'll time out the latest storms and also show what future track could look like as those storms move in across southern Wisconsin coming up.
Thank you. And stick around, we'll be right back.